Hello and welcome. In this lecture, we are going to be writing some code for the load event handler method. So switch to your design mode. Just click on the form design and make sure you've got the form selected. You can tell by the name of the form and click on this here, this little thing that looks like a thunder lightning bolt. We need to scroll down to a point. Oh, this is what we're looking for. This is what we're looking for. This is the load event. All right. So when the page loads, this is what we want to generate code for. So just double click on it and it will create a stub. A stub basically is an empty method. So this is a method is created. It's empty because we've not written the code that will go in between the curly braces. What I'm going to do, I am going to write the code, add it on and explain it to you. The highlighted code is what I have just added on. So I'm just going to explain it to you. Make sure when you write your code, make sure the curly braces match up. If not, Visual Studio will complain and it will not compile your code. So you can see my curly braces, they all match up. So let's start with the first line of the code, which is this one here. Basically, anytime you see square brackets, know that that is referencing an array, referring to an array. So what this line of code is, basically, this code is going to put a list of all the file names in the pics directory. Remember, we created a directory for our images and called it pics. So it will put a list of all the file names in the pics directory into the images variable. Okay, so this is a variable images. Created a variable here called images and we've set it to this. So what it will do, it will get all the images from this directory pics and dump it and store it inside this images variable. On line 41 here, I've introduced a for each. A for each is a kind of loop, so it will loop through. Here is going to this image here, which is it will loop through that image. And it will, each time it loops through, it will create an instance of that image. So here is looking for a string, basically is a string of text. So it's looking for each text, each text in the image in images. This images is this variable here. So that's what this string is looking for, the text in the image in this images variable. Line 43, this line here, what that highlighted line does, it creates a new bitmap picture and then adds it to the BG images array. Remember, we created an array earlier on in our previous lecture, which is this BG images array. All right. I've also introduced a for loop. Here, this line here is a for loop. A for loop basically, and inside the parentheses, I've passed it. There is a data type of integer, which is a number. A loop basically will go through, iterate through an item and count. So what this is doing here, I've given it a variable of I and I've set the initial value to 0. So this is the value of the counter. So to start counting from 0. And here I'm calling the same variable here. I'm saying as long as this variable, if is less than 50, I want it to keep increasing by 1. Plus mean increase by 1, so it will keep increasing the variable. So what that will do, it will look in the directory for the images and it will check as long as the images are less than 50, it will keep adding images to the screen until it reaches 50. So this value you can experiment with and see, you know, what gets displayed on the screen later. But basically that's what this counted. It will stop when the images are above 50. Here on line 48, so this is a class and this is a local variable, and I've set a new instance of that local variable, and you see this is a method. Is going to equals to this BritPic method. Here on line 49, I've got this local variable here, MP, and set it to this. The percent actually means remainder. So 5% of 2 is 1, because you can divide 5 into 2 twice with a remainder of 1. On line 50 here, the one highlighted, basically what that code was going to do is going to get the next available random number between 0 and the Windows width. The one next to it, we do the same, next available number and the Windows height. Oh, don't worry about this line here. I've commented it out, so it doesn't matter anyway. Just get rid of it so it doesn't confuse you. I was just trying to test some things out, so I'll get rid of that. On here, we've got a method here that adds an object to the end of the list. All right, so use this method if you want to append a list. So it's good if I wanted to add this here, we'll add an object to the end of this variable here, this BritPic class variable. So anywhere you're using add, you are appending or adding to a list. So this is an array. So by adding the add here, it will add an object to the end of that list. So that is it for this lecture. I'm going to stop this lecture here and we will progress in the next lecture. Thank you so much for watching. Take care and bye for now.